Hey, Mabel. Tomorrow is my wedding ceremony, future sister-in-law. Are you ready to go?
Obviously, I am. Leon said he had been expecting it.
Really? I can guess this too. LOL, thanks. Of course, you're excited about it. You see, unlike you and your spouse, my wife and I are prosperous and successful. Furthermore, a 5-star resort will host the event. The majority of the visitors will be wealthy elites who come for the money. You guys would never had the chance to meet these folks if it weren't for my wedding.
In my opinion, it's not like that.
Just admit it honestly. You and your spouse are underprivileged, and you'll never achieve success like we have. Leon and you both never even attended college, so you have no chance to improve your life.
That's not very polite of you to say, is what I'm saying. Because he had no other options, your brother did not attend college. He was forced to care for your father because he was ill. Right after high school, he made the decision to help the family. Did he not even cover a portion of your college expenses? I can't believe you would speak negatively about him.
Ha! Why are you so angry with me? I didn't request that he cover my tuition. I don't owe him anything because he did it without my request.
Even if you don't have to, you should nevertheless express your gratitude to him.
Ha! I could care less. He ought to be the one saying thanks. LOL.
Why should he thank you, exactly?
He works as a blue-collar factory worker, but I am a white-collar elite at a large corporation. I also think I look better than him, LOL. He is so disgusting that I am so pleased I don't resemble him. He has the ideal younger brother, so he should be happy about that. You guys look good wearing it. That being the case, you folks ought to thank me, LOL.
What in the world? David, I know you attended a reputable university, but that doesn't imply it represents a measure of a person's worth.
Ha! You don't have to teach me how to value people, LOL. It does, of course. Knowledge is everything. Everyone should be praising me since I am exceptional.
Although you may be intelligent, I believe you also need to concentrate on your interpersonal skills.
Why must you be so rude? I wonder. In contrast to my brother, at least I have something to brag about. I will allow you to boast about me since I feel horrible for you folks.
Neither Leon nor I will extol anybody or anything. I'm aware that nobody in my immediate vicinity would want to hear it. You should act like an adult since we are all mature people.
You all are so monotonous. All of you unfortunate individuals, who don't even have the chance to brag about anything, make me feel bad.
We don't deserve to feel sorry for ourselves, and I don't even want the chance to boast.
Why do you strive to come out as so tough? LOL, well, I couldn't care less. Anyway, I'm getting married. Do you have the means to provide us with the wedding present money? Since it's my wedding, I hope there will be a large crowd. I'll throw you out of my party if it's a tiny sum of money.
Leon and I are preparing to bring a total of $2,000 for the wedding gift money.
Ha! Hold on, please. Mabel, are you having a dream right now?
No. For wedding present money, I believe $1,000 is more than enough. I also brought $1,000 to my older sister's wedding the previous year. Our father, whom I also verified with, confirmed that it is a sufficient sum.
Ha! Wait! What? Are you serious, right this second? I don't want to welcome the impoverished because of this. I have told you how pricey my wedding will be. Since the event will be held at a 5-star resort, the meals served there will be excellent. And you're just taking $2,000 with you? Obviously insufficient, huh?
How much would be sufficient, then?
You should solve the problem on your own. I despise anyone who never attended college for this reason. At the very least, you should know to add another zero.
What do you mean by $20,000? Do you feel that is excessive?
No, that's a reasonable cost for the wedding I want. Giant. I also find it unworthy of my value.
I've never heard of somebody requesting $20,000.
Undoubtedly, you don't have it since all of your pals are poor. $2,000 would be a reasonable sum for wedding expenses for you impoverished folks. For the elites like me, though, $20,000 is the required minimum. Isn't it polite to offer that much because it is my special day? Sincerely, I believe I should have requested more. Only $20,000 is nothing. I'll forgive you for that amount, though, because I know how impoverished you folks are. I know you never get the chance to see someone as special as me so close, so this wedding is a chance to open your eyes wide. With $20,000 is too great for you.
That is really excessive. You should reevaluate yourself. $20,000 is not worth it because you don't value a huge amount of money.
Whatever happens, simply remember to bring it. In any case, I won't allow you attend the ceremony. We anticipate some well-known individuals to visit tomorrow.
Oh, a visitor?
The father of the bride is a well-known art trader. He is extremely wealthy and has numerous celebrity connections. We're also anticipating a renowned artist tomorrow who keeps his name a secret.
Ah, I see.
Aren't you awestruck? Ha ha! Naturally, they will attend because it is my wedding.
To be quite honest, I'm neither shocked nor impressed. Nothing about you should impress them. Instead, it is your bride's father who is extending the invitation.
Because your hubby is such a loser, you don't get it. LOL. My father was probably ashamed to attend your wedding. My situation is unique in that we may invite other elites to our wedding.
All okay, anything.
It's how society functions. You should be grateful that I invited you guys in the first place. $20,000 is a lot if you look at it that way.
I still believe that a wedding present of $20,000 is excessive. Does everybody else earn that much money?
No doubt. They are all incredibly significant members of society. The wealthy elites are all kind and eager to pay for an elaborate wedding. I find it hard to believe that you and my brother are attempting to get away with being so stingy. What a disgrace you people are to our family. I dislike interacting meaningfully with impoverished people because of this.
You are such a jerk. I'm pleased for you, and my husband and I want to attend your wedding. Therefore, if everyone else is paying the same amount, we will bring the money.
Did I really need to explain anything to you, you guys? Leon, my brother, is so foolish, I can't believe it.
Hey, David, there is something I've been meaning to express for a while. You can talk about me all you want, but refrain from disparaging Leon in my presence. His honest joy about your marriage is contagious. You talking that way about my spouse is intolerable to me.
Wow, you're protecting that loser now, LOL. What a perfect fit you losers are! An in-love pair!
Leon is a kind and compassionate individual. He cares deeply about you and always prioritizes his family. He made a sincere effort to take excellent care of you because you were his only sibling.
I didn't ask for any of it, as I have stated. He's very naive. He's simply a loser who didn't finish high school, I guess. I simply ordered you to shut up and quit talking about him. I'll pay attention to you if you guys provide the money tomorrow. Don't wear something inexpensive at the event, either. It would be really embarrassing if the rest of the world learned how impoverished you people are.
I guess whatsoever.
My finest day ever is going to be tomorrow. I'm too busy to text helpless individuals like you. I need to go to bed right away. Mabel, don't forget to bring the cash tomorrow. Don't being late.
Hello, David. Where are you right now? You're in the waiting area, right?
Sure, I am. Why are you asking this question to me? Oh, are you attempting to offer me the present money for the wedding?
Yes, I did bring the cash as a gift for you.
Oh, really? Do you truly have $20,000 with you?
And I did. After receiving your SMS last night, I discussed it with Leon, and he said that because it was your special day, he had no qualms with taking out the cash. What an awesome brother you have.
What? Is that true? Ha ha! I had no idea he genuinely had so much money. I sincerely hope you guys didn't rob someone or borrow the cash.
Obviously not. From our bank account, that is. This morning, we went to the bank to withdraw it.
Oh, wow, thanks, LOL. Are you people attempting to save every dime and leading a monotonous, frugal life? LOL.
You are so disrespectful. It's unbelievable that you are Leon's older sibling. I've already stated that I'm quite different from my younger brother.
Our IQ and beauty are totally unrelated, LOL.
I know what you mean, but keep in mind your own characteristics as well.
Anyway, did you actually bring the $20,000? Deliver it to the waiting area.
I have a question I'd want to ask you before I bring it over. I registered for the event when I walked to the front desk. There isn't a table for us, they told me. What's going on? Is this an error of some sort?
Just bring me your money before you do it.
Please respond to my query.
FO. You really bother me. You and my brother were never seated at a table for today's ceremony. I started to doubt myself. You people, however, are only second-class citizens. Leon and you wouldn't blend in with the crowd at this time. You would undoubtedly feel horrible if you took part today. There isn't a table for you guys since, as I previously mentioned, every other guest is a member of the social elite.
That's bad, but don't worry, we're leaving right now.
Thank you very much, LOL. I kept you folks from having a bad day today. Bring me money and then leave for home.
You just want to take our money and eject us from this location, is that right?
Whether or not you attend the event is irrelevant. You folks still owe me the wedding present money as my big brother and sister-in-law.
I'm sorry to bring this up right now, but nonetheless, when Leon and I got married 2 years ago. David, I don't recall receiving any wedding gifts from you.
I'm younger than Leon. What are you talking about?
Still, you are Leon's younger brother.
Isn't it traditional to honor your brother on his special day?
It doesn't function like that. The older brother is expected to look out for the younger sibling. I am the younger one, thus you guys don't owe me any money for wedding gifts. What? That's not required to make sense.
Leon also said to me that he didn't need any gifts for his wedding, so it doesn't have to make sense to you, Mabel. I thus gave him nothing at all.
Can't you see that he said that out of the kindness of his heart?
Mabel, don't attempt to lecture me. Anyway, Leon and you won't have a table. That's it. I don't have time for this because the ceremony is just about to begin. You guys are embarrassed of our family, and I don't want any of my other visitors to see you.
Therefore, you didn't want us to arrive in the first place.
Yes, you did understand it at last, LOL.
Then we wouldn't have wasted our time driving all the way here if you had simply told me that last night when you texted me.
Oh, well, I'm delighted you came nonetheless because you have the cash now.
So you didn't want to remain for the ceremony, you simply wanted us to give you the money?
Naturally, I've been contacting Leon for the wedding present money the entire time. How can he get so busy when he is only a factory worker in a blue-collar job? Haha. I told you all to come today since I knew he wouldn't see me before the wedding. I wouldn't have had to bring you here today if he had just given me the money sooner. He kept me waiting for so long that I had to increase the cost of the wedding present. Because he is the older brother, he owes me money.
What the heck is that? Leon is currently in disbelief after learning that we were never wanted at the event. How could you treat your own brother with such disrespect?
Do you believe that I should mention him to anyone? Ha! How dare he? I don't believe he can tell people. But I still find it hard to believe that you guys have $20,000 in the bank. For a struggling couple like you two, that is extremely outstanding.
Oh, we weren't supposed to be here in the first place. Therefore, we have no debt to you. Of course, I am the one who is owed the money.
Hey! You owe my money! Come and back my money! Hey! Answer me!
David, you dare tell the security guard to stop us outside the wedding gate. How dare you do this to your brother's relative? Do you look like a human, David?
What? It's natural, poor, uneducated still want to join my wedding. If you bring money, wait outside the door to receive. As for participating in my wedding, it is impossible not to expect this from me. Without my permission, you and Leon don't even think about coming to my party. People at the bottom of society, even my brother, can't participate. Don't make me lose face anymore. I'll tell my brother to divorce you. You're going to ruin my wedding. Don't fantasize.
Fine. What would you like? Stay away from us. I thought it was.
Goodbye.
For good. You know, who are we sharing this quick supper with?
Who are you talking about? What the hell is that? Why did I receive an annulment text from my wife's parents?
Leon. Your family and especially your wife's parents. They specifically support your decision and say that they will not participate in your marriage because they have overheard our conversation. You're happy we won't bother you anymore, isn't that what you want? Oh, David, always so dramatic. Calling me a demon just because your precious wedding got ruined? Please, I didn't single-handedly sabotage it. It was a joint effort of unforeseen circumstances.
You know very well what you did, Mabel. You intentionally caused chaos and ruined the most important day of my life.
Intentionally? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Things just didn't go as planned. But hey, accidents happen, right?
This was not an accident. You've always had it out for me. Admit it, Mabel, you've always been jealous of my happiness.
Jealous? Please, David. I couldn't care less about your happiness. And as for being jealous, well, let's just say Leon isn't as oblivious as you think.
What do you mean? Are you trying to turn Leon against me too?
No need, David. Leon knows exactly who you are. He can see through your facade. He doesn't need me to tell him anything. In fact, he refused to take your call earlier. He's done with your toxic attitude.
How dare you? You're twisting everything against me. You're nothing but a monster, Mabel, and you'll pay for this.
Save your threats, David. You can throw all the insults you want, but it won't change the truth. Maybe it's time for you to reflect on your actions instead of blaming everyone else for your problems.
We'll see about that, Mabel. This isn't over.
After the wedding was cancelled because the bride's parents informed friends and acquaintances of David's disdain for everything. It is said that David's colleagues were shunned because of his bossy attitude towards his loved ones. David has become lonely at work, and his soon-to-be wife has cut off all contact because she doesn't want to be involved with a lousy fiancé. As for us, we decided to travel with David's wedding money. This was a family vacation after my husband felt sad for his brother. Hey Tom, congrats on your engagement. I didn't think you would get married ahead of me.
Thank you. Good luck to you too.
Shut up. Don't be rude to your sister. So, what's your fiancé like?
She is pretty and kind. I do have some concerns about her, though.
Huh? What concern?
Well, I'll tell you about it next time.
Is that something you can't say right away?
It's not.
I haven't been able to see you for a while. Because you're always busy. I wanted to see you.
I'm sorry. I tried my best to find a way. But I'm so busy.
I see. You're in a tough spot. By the way, Mom baked brownies for you again. Also, your uncle has a wedding gift for you.
Really?
Don't you have time to go to Mom's house to pick it up? Otherwise, I'll have to bring it to you again.
I'm really busy at work these days.
I would appreciate it if you could bring them to my house.
Well, if you ask me. Thank your big sister.
Thank you so much. You still have the key to my house, don't you?
Yes, I have it. I can unlock the door and leave it in the hallway, right?
Please do so. I think I'll be working overtime every day next week. I really appreciate it.
Okay. I know you're busy at work, but take care of yourself too. I hope I don't burn out before your wedding day.
I know. Well, thank you, again.
Yep. Talk to you later then. I'll bring the stuff to your house today.
What? Today? My room could be very messy.
That's just the way it always is, isn't it? I'll clean it up for you if I have time.
No, that's fine. You don't have to do that. You are doing me a big favor just by bringing them to my house.
Well, okay. All right, I'll just unlock the door and leave this stuff there then.
You deserve it.
What? Who are you? How did you get my number? No way, are you Tina?
Yeah. It's Tom's fiancé. I'm shocked that some random skink was in my fiancé's house without permission. I'm surprised that Tom is messing with an ugly girl like you.
What are you talking about? I mean, you're way out of line to hit me all of a sudden.
It's your fault for overreacting and losing consciousness. I had to call an ambulance. I really didn't want to do that because it would have caused a big scene.
No, you're the one who hit me in the first place.
I have a wedding coming up. Do you know how I feel finding out that he was cheating on me? I had to beat the hell out of you.
This is a huge misunderstanding. I mean, aren't you going to apologize?
What? An apology?
I was beaten by you because you thought Tom was cheating on you. And I was taken to the emergency room. You did such a terrible thing and not a single apology to me?
What a joke you are. The one who should apologize. The girl he was having an affair with deserved to be beaten. You and Tom are both to blame.
You're overreacting for nothing. Don't play the victim, just talk to Tom.
By the way, I checked your phone and got this number while you were passed out. I saw that you were exchanging messages with Tom the whole time. Unbelievable.
Did you look at my phone without permission? You're unbelievable.
I was so angry that I punished Tom as well.
What? Don't tell me you hit Tom too?
How could I do that? How can a woman win over a man through physical strength? I decided to do some mental damage to him.
What? What do you mean? You're creeping me out.
After you were taken away in the ambulance, I made a mess in his house. I smashed all his dishes, TV and furniture, and I left his room. Now he'll be sorry and won't do this again.
You're the worst. Breaking things in someone's house is a crime. I mean, when you hit me, that was already a crime.
You, Tim's secret girlfriend, how does it feel to be sent to the hospital by me? It's your fault for messing with someone else's man, so don't report anything.
I am Tom's sister.
What?
Come on. I've been telling you to listen to me for a while. And I told you to talk to Tom.
What? You're his sister? Huh? Really?
Yeah, really. So I told you to talk to him. But it can't allow you to continue to act out of line any longer. That's enough.
Why didn't you tell me at the start? Are you kidding me? Come to think of it, Tom may have mentioned that he has a sister. Is that also why you had the key to his house?
Yes.
He told me not to come to his house. I was shocked that he gave the keys to another girl. Have I done something bad?
It's bad, no matter what you think. You seem mortified to learn that I'm his sister. But when he hears that his dear sister was beaten by you, he is bound to be furious. I called him earlier and he was quite angry.
What? Did you call Tom? Why did you do that?
Why not? That's a given. You beat me up and put me in the hospital.
Well, it would be a bad idea to tell Tom about it.
What's bad is not what I told him. It's what you did.
I'm sorry I hit you. But I was in a panic. You understand, right?
I only had a key to his house to bring stuff to him. I didn't know you were going there. Besides, Tom told me that he told you not to go to his house. I was just cleaning his room for him. What brought you to his house in the first place?
He said he's been busy with work lately and hasn't seen me at all, so I was worried.
So you ignored his request, made a copy of the key, and entered his house without telling him? He said he didn't want to let you in because his room was too messy.
Is that so?
Besides, if you had seen text messages between him and I, you would know that. He really is too busy with work to even show up at my parents' house for a bit. So I went to his house to bring him stuff. He is really busy. How can you not trust your partner even before you get married?
I didn't know that.
You should have trusted him. So you're done.
Done? What do you mean?
Tom is also completely disgusted by your behavior. I'm also reporting this incident to the police. Tom wouldn't want to be with a woman like you.
What? So what about our wedding? Of course, that would be called off, duh. Tom seems to have just got back to his house now. He's pretty shocked right about now. It was just... You know, I was distraught at the time. I lost myself.
My brother says you're psycho and scary. He says he called the police. I'm sure he will file a damage report too.
Tom called the police? Why would he do that? He won't answer my calls.
Of course, that's because he's disgusted by you, right? And you even took the money that was in his house. Am I wrong?
Well, I did it on an impulse, as a punishment to him.
You're too much to handle.
No, I'm not. You know the word jealousy, right? My boyfriend, my fiancé, had a random girl in his house. It's normal to think he was cheating on me.
If I got into that situation, I'd ask the person who she is first. You literally just started beating the crap out of me. And you smashed his room. You are insane. We're both completely disgusted by you.
Hey! You don't have to say that much. I was desperate. I was worried that Tom didn't like me anymore. Our wedding is coming up soon, so I wanted to make sure how he was feeling about me.
Doesn't matter. What you did was way out of line. You should have had a proper talk with him. Instead of sneaking into his house and beating up his sister.
I guess so.
Now I understand why Tom didn't want to tell me much about you.
What do you mean?
I think he sensed your psychopathic tendencies. I think he is terrified of recycled jealousy and mental instability.
Don't call me a psycho. Are you mocking me?
I can't believe you made a copy of his house key and snuck into his room. And you just beat up a random woman you've never seen. Those actions are clearly not the behavior of a normal person.
I was panicking.
Oh. I see. Well, you can say whatever you want. This is no longer my concern. I'm not going to have any further contact with you after this.
No, you're going to be my sister-in-law. Let's be friends from now on.
What? Have you gone even crazier?
I wasn't crazy from the beginning. Your initial impression of me was terrible, but trust me, I will get better. So let's be good friends from now on.
That's not possible. My first impression of you was beyond just bad. You're just a violent criminal.
Criminal? What do you mean? I'm going to be your sister-in-law, okay? Don't you think you should be a little more gentle with me?
Yeah, I don't think you will be my sister-in-law.
Huh?
I didn't want this from me, but I don't think Tim has any intentions of marrying you anymore.
Are you kidding me? That can't be true. We're getting married.
You got engaged to him only because you decided to do so on your own and reported it to your employer. And you forced him to meet your parents. So, it seems Tom just gave up because he felt he had no choice. But this whole mayhem seems to have made him rethink, too.
Who told you that? Tom didn't say that, did he?
Who else do you think is there?
Why did Tom tell you that? Why hasn't he contacted me? Are you guys dating?
Oh, come on, don't be crazy. Tom and I are sister and brother. You should at least admit a little that you're crazy. No matter how impatient you are to get married, this is too much.
I love him so much, I can't help it, can I?
Don't use love as an excuse. Let me just be clear, what you do is simply too much for anyone. Both Tom and I are filing a police report. I hope they give you the proper punishment.
What? Really? Wait! Don't do that! I mean, let me talk to Tom.
You go tell him that. I don't want anything to do with the pathologically jealous I call like you. Your loved one ran away from you because he found out you were psycho. It's your own fault. You should reflect well and pay for your sins.
Their wedding was called off and their engagement was canceled. Tina had seriously injured Tom's sister Lucy, and when the police filed a damage report, Tina was arrested. In addition, Tina was sued for ruin in Tom's house, and she finally understood he had absolutely no intention of getting back together with her. That made Tina even more disappeared. Of course, she was made to pay for all his property that she had broken. And Tina's parents were furious when they heard what had happened. She was cut off from them as well. In the end, Tom didn't have to marry a crazy psycho woman. He credits this to his sister, Lucy. Also, Lucy could stop him from marrying some crazy woman. She is also happy to save her family. Lucy is hoping to meet a nice guy and get married. But so far, there are no signs of that at all, which is a shame.
Hey! Ali! Have you not transferred your monthly payment to me yet? If you don't transfer it to me soon, there's gonna be problems.
I'm sorry, Bella. I'm not feeling very well today. I wasn't able to go to the bank. Don't worry, I'll make sure I transfer it to you tomorrow.
I don't want to hear any excuses. You promised you'd pay me the same time every month, didn't you? You said you'd pay me, that's why I let you move out and live on your own, and in return I take care of your father's house and your little brother. You remember our agreement, right?
Of course, I remember. And I remember how you took in my father and helped looked after me and my little brother. And after my father died, you let me move out and agree to keep looking after my little brother, as well as my father's house for me. Tom and I are both very grateful for you.
Well, as long as you understand. The only thing you're good at is making money. So make sure you're never late with your payment, ever again. I don't care if you're feeling bad, next time crawl to the bank if you have to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, I think this month you're gonna have to pay me an extra $1,000.
Huh? An extra $1,000?
That's what you get for making me wait an extra day. There's some new clothes that Fiona wants, and there's a new bag that I want.
But if I pay you an extra $1,000, my rent is.
What's this? Do you have a problem with my request? Are you gonna defy me and not pay it? Do you want something to happen to little Tom?
I'm sorry. I'll pay it. I'll pay you. So, please, don't do anything to Tom.
You and your brother both. You're not very good at understanding circumstances, are you? You've got no parents, so without me, who's gonna look after you and your brother? To tell you the truth, the day your father died, so did my obligation to look after you too. But because I'm such a nice person, I let you stay in a house. You need to start showing your appreciation and pay me back for everything I've done for you.
Yes. I understand and thank you for everything you do.
What a poor excuse for children you two are. My little Fiona is such a good little girl compared to you and your brother. She just got accepted to that elite private school. The one with a combined junior high and high school. It doesn't surprise me. Really. She is my daughter, after all. She's nothing like whatever you two were spawned from.
Wait, hold on a second. That elite private school you're talking about. It's also known to be extremely expensive. How are you going to pay the tuition? It's junior high and high school combined. That means she'll be going for 6 years. 1 year's tuition alone is extremely high.
I found a bank book in Tom's room. When I looked at it, there was a huge amount of money in the account. A child doesn't need that much money. I'm paying for Fiona's tuition with that money.
Hold on. That's the bank book for the bank account my dad made for Tom. That's the college fund my dad set up for him. You can't use that. It's Tom's tuition when he's old enough. And don't go rummaging around Tom's room. He's only 11 years old.
Who do you think you're talking to? I can go anywhere I want in my house anytime I want. On top of that, anything in my house is mine. You have no right to complain about it.
I can't believe this. If you're gonna use Tom's college fund on Fiona, Tom's education is.
Let's face it. I really don't think that boy would be going to college anyway. If you've got a problem with it, you'd better start making more money than you are right now. If your job isn't paying enough, then get another job at night, or start working the streets at night. Do you want me to introduce you to someone in the escort business? I know someone who specializes in that type of work. I can get you in. It might be a little rough sometimes, but it can make you lots of money.
No, thanks. I'll get you the money for Fiona's tuition somehow. Just put Tom's money back in his account.
Fine, either way, just remember, if you're late on even one payment, I'm gonna use the money from Tom's savings account. You better work hard to get enough money for Fiona's private school tuition.
Okay.
For now, make sure you pay me that extra $1,000 for being late with a regular payment. And you're going to be paying for Fiona's textbooks and her uniforms, too. Got it?
I understand. I'll make the transfers. Goodbye.
Hey, Allie. The house is completely empty. Did you have something to do with this? And there was some strange notice posted on the door. What are you up to?
Welcome back, Bella. I heard you and Fiona went on a little vacation. Is that right? You were gone for about a week, right? I heard you took Fiona to Disneyland. It sounds like fun.
I'm not talking about that now. Tell me about the house. The paper on the door said the house was sold. What's going on here? And what did you do with all our things? Do you have any idea what I'm going to do to you too?
Shut up. Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
What did you say to me? How dare you talk to your parents like that?
Just shut up and I'll tell you what's going on. As for the house, you don't live there anymore. Because I sold it.
You sold it? You sold it without my permission? How could you even think of doing that without my permission?
I don't need your permission for anything. My dad left that house to me in his will.
Ha! He left it to you?
The only thing Dad left to you was his savings. I got that house in his inheritance. And I was the one paying the property tax on it. So, if I want to sell it or tear it down, it's entirely my decision. Unlike you, I'm very kind. So, I took the liberty of finding a place for you that has monthly rent and no contracts needed. I had all your things shipped over to your new place. I paid the first month of your rent. After that, you can pay yourself or find your own place to stay.
I can't believe you did such a stupid thing. We've lived here for so many years. I was married to her father. I have a right to live here.
It doesn't matter how many years you lived there, or who you were married to years ago. That house was left to me. I don't know how you could have forgotten that. Dad didn't mention anything about you living in the house and his will. And you never officially adopted us when he died. So, what I'm saying is, when I turned 18, that house became mine. I let you continue living there out of the kindness of my heart. Or, more like, you took Tom as a hostage and took over the house. You basically took it over, didn't you?
How dare you say whatever you want to me? Who do you think has been looking after your little brother this whole time? You ungrateful little.
You think you were looking after Tom for me? Don't you mean you were using Tom? Tom told me everything. He said you were using him as your own personal slave. You made him do all the laundry, the cleaning, and the cooking. He said if he ever didn't do something you told him to do, you'd hit him.
You have to discipline a child if they don't listen. And he's not my son, so if he wanted to live with us, he had to pull his own weight. If I didn't make him do all those chores, it wouldn't be fair to Fiona.
He's still in junior high school, and you made him work day and night. And on top of that, you stole his inheritance and used it all for yourself, didn't you? You said if I paid for Fiona's private school, you wouldn't touch Tom's money? But you used it so you could buy expensive things and have fun going out at night. And you told Tom because there was no college fund for him, he'd have to get a job out of high school. That's the only reason you stayed with us, to take all of our dad's inheritance for yourself, wasn't it?
Shut up! Shut up! I married a divorced man who had 2 kids. You should be thankful that anyone did. So, it's only natural that I'd use you both as much as I could. Tom's not that bright. He doesn't need a college fund because he's not going to college anyway. Using any money on his education would be a total waste. Him getting a job as early as possible will be the best thing for him.
That's not your decision to make. Tom is going to live with me now. He's going to finish high school and then he's going to college. I used the time you were on vacation and finalized everything that needed to be done. I've even put all the money back in Tom's college fund.
You've put the money back in his savings? How slash? That must mean.
That's right. When I was getting all our stuff packed up to move, I sold all those designer shoes and bags you had. I couldn't believe how many you had. That's probably what you spent his college fund on, wasn't it?
How dare you? You went too far. I'll never forgive you for this. I'm gonna make you pay. I'm heading over to your place right now. Don't even think of trying to run away. I know where you live and I know where you work. You better get ready.
You better get ready. She says. You're not too smart, are you? Do you remember what happened 4 years ago?
What are you talking about?
That one time I was day late with my payment to you, and you charged me an additional $1,000? At that time, I'd already moved away and changed jobs. It was because I was busy doing all that I forgot about the transfer. I was scared you might figure out what I was up to. I thought if you came looking for me then, you might have realized I wasn't at the address you thought I was at. And that I wasn't working for the company you thought I was working at either. But I've made sure everything is hidden well now and will stay secret. You'll never find out where we are. So don't ask me for another cent ever again.
This can't be.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was tough. Trying to secretly find a buyer for the house, getting Tom's in my life all sorted out, and making sure it stays hidden from you. It took me 4 years to do it all. I feel bad that I had to leave Tom alone with you for that long. It must have been really hard on him. But now neither of us have to worry about you ever again. Now you and Fiona don't have a house to live in, and I don't have to pay you a dime ever again. If you two live in poverty for the rest of your lives, that's fine with me.
Wait, Ali. Hold on. I'm sorry. I had no idea you resented me so much. If you forgive me, I'll do anything. I was wrong. Your mother was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. Think about your little sister for a moment. Please, just reconsider.
My mother? My little sister? Who are you talking about? Both of my parents are up in heaven now. And I've never had a little sister. I think it'd be strange for someone not to resent someone who used them only for money. Or used them as their own personal slave. Now that you aren't holding a small boy hostage, you're just an unemployed, heartless old hag. Feel free to drop dead.
How could you?
Oh, before I go, I've got something nice to tell you. Do you know about Fiona's second SNS account? Guess what kind of picture she's posting of herself on there?
Huh?
She has lots of pictures of herself at college frat parties. She looks drunk out of her mind hanging off all those college guys. Too bad Fiona's still in high school. Oh, and I might have anonymously sent the pictures to everyone at her high school.
What?
She's at that elite private school, right? The one with a high reputation and is really strict on policies? She obviously can't be that ashamed of what she did. She posted all those pics herself. I wonder if she'll get kicked out of the school for doing this. You know, the school you had no money for, yet you were sending her to anyway. I guess we'll wait and see. She was so close to graduation, too. Even if this conduct doesn't get her kicked out, once tuition payments stop. I'm sure she won't be there much longer anyway. Oh, I feel so sorry for her.
Why would you do such a thing? Are you happy now? Taking your anger out on Fiona? You definitely went way too far. Please. I'm begging you. Just stop.
I shouldn't have to say this, but I don't want anything to do with you two ever again. I'm blocking your number. This is the last time I'll ever contact you. Make sure it's the last time you ever contact me. Goodbye. Bella headed to the makeshift location I had prepared for her. During her time there, I heard she began searching for an alternative residence. Due to her lack of employment, she couldn't secure a contract with any other place. Following the initial month at the location I arranged for her, Bella failed to make any further rent payments. Consequently, she was evicted from her temporary accommodation too. She resorted to living in her car and selling her belongings to cover expenses for food and basic needs. Right before that, Fiona was expelled from her exclusive private school. I'm uncertain whether it was due to her behavior or her failure to pay tuition fees. In any case, Fiona and Gabrielle had a major argument regarding their school expulsion. As a result, Fiona ended up fleeing from home due to the situation. There's a circulating rumor that Fiona approached one of Bella's acquaintances about potentially working as an escort. Regarding Bella, I was informed by one of my former classmates that she never managed to secure employment. Eventually, she exhausted her resources to sell, and there have been reports of her being homeless, found sleeping in parks.
Hey loser, it's been a while. After that occurrence, I'm wondering how you're doing right now. At the very least, it appears to me that you are leading a morally upright life, haha.
Sorry?
Look, unlike 5 years ago when you were homeless, you are now housed. That's development. I even caught you enjoying a cup of coffee the other day in that Starbucks beside the bus stop. Lisa, you need to stop drinking coffee right now and start saving money. You could ask for a glass of tap water in a restaurant if you're really that thirsty. Haha, it's free. Do not overreact just because you no longer reside on the streets. The only thing you still have is an overdrawn bank account. Do you not?
What would you like? You said you wouldn't text me again, didn't you?
I won't take it if you ignore me. All I wanted to do was catch up with you, haha. After 7 years, your one and only best buddy texted you. Why shouldn't you be joyful? Come on, I know you're not as cruel as you seem to be right now.
When you shattered my life, why should I be polite to you? I'll show you what it feels like to be beaten to death if you don't leave me alone.
Are you serious at this moment? Don't you dare tell me that you still have resentment toward me for making an approach to John? Haha. 7 years have passed. In addition, my kid would be in elementary school if I had one. So quit acting like a child and mature.
You don't even qualify as a human being if you're acting like a kid around here.
Pardon? Haha.
For taking my spouse from me, there is no way I can ever forgive you. We had been friends for a very long time. But back then, you ejected me from my own home without even pausing for a second. I'll never forget how it felt to pass the night on that park seat.
Well, John is solely responsible for all of this. After all, it was he who compelled you to sign the divorce documents. You were indeed thrown out by him as well. Funny. Anyway, I still have to smile to myself thinking about how you begged us at our door. What did you tell us? Please come back for our marriage. Don't you see your words have no value at all?
Exactly. Next to John, you made fun of me without showing any mercy. And all these years, you never even offered me an apology.
Sorry? Why should I apologize to an incompetent person who can't keep a husband like you? Yes, I am aware. However, why would I? I'll tell you what John said. You're just a housewife, he said. Therefore, there is no need to apologize to someone who is unable to support himself. He said that you are to blame for his infidelity. He's always found you to be so repulsive. You did not receive any divorce assets due to his tenacity and legal team. See, that's the reason I grabbed this guy.
Do you really feel so good about making other people suffer? You are fully aware that I have no family or relatives on whom I may rely. Every night, I sobbed my way to sleep on the streets in a cardboard box. I was informed that I could no longer pursue a fresh divorce asset split since 7 years had gone when I finally worked up the confidence to do so. As soon as those words reached my ears, my knees gave way, and I fell to the ground sobbing.
Life is unfair, I guess, hee hee. Anyway, I have nothing to do with what constitutes of you.
Excuse me?
All I know is that my hubby and I are going on the most amazing honeymoon ever, hee hee.
I'm hoping you and John can both maintain this mindset.
I don't think the two of you can survive this long if I had to be absolutely honest with you.
I went above and above to lure the man, and I'm not foolish enough to end our relationship. Remember that he oversees a department in a global firm. He's my greatest chance, to live the life of a wealthy housewife. Why do you even believe I touched him, after all?
So I assume you still don't understand what you did. I mean, how dare you text me if you have absolutely no intention of apologizing? You should be relieved that at this point, I couldn't care less about the two of you. I genuinely simply want to wish you well with John.
Hi, Lisa. Hello after a while. You appear to have finally ceased getting government assistance, according to what Naomi told me.
But seriously, what do you all need from me? I don't want to interact with you or Naomi in any way.
However, we are well acquainted. Do we not? I reached out to you because I'm concerned.
Me?
You aren't a hobo any longer, according to Naomi. Congrats. Anyway, have you found a new boyfriend for yourself yet? Are you wed or dating someone?
I'm not. Why do you ask so? Thanks to Naomi and you, marriage has now scarred me. I'm going to love being by myself from now on.
That is very sad, Given that you are now divorced and destitute, your life will only grow worse and worse. With that stated, I'll help you out. I know a lot of really good guys.
I do not require your assistance.
You know, I've always felt a little bad for what you had to endure. You've been a stay-at-home wife ever since our wedding. So how will you get by in the coming days without a guy at your side? In other words, feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'm not as rude as you would assume,
Sorry? What are you mentioning to me?
What do you think of me setting you up on a blind date with one of my friends? Actually, he is also my boss. He's currently 50 years old, yet he's still unmarried, You might get married to him to begin a new era in your life. In spite of the fact that he is almost 20 years older than you, the good news is that he is open to having a divorced lady as his wife.
I thought you'd hook me up with a guy who gave me a 10 out of 10. I never would have guessed that it was an elderly grandfather from work. But seriously, quit making fun of me. I'm not a toy for you and Naomi.
Even if my employer may not be the smartest person around, he is still my superior. He is the highest paid person as a result. He may also grant you all the freedom and comforts you desire. Are you certain you want to pass up this ideal chance to go from poverty to riches? You have my word that now is not the time to be fussy. Right now, you can't even put food on the table. Am I correct?
Making a fool out of someone like this is not acceptable. I did nothing wrong, nor did your supervisor. Being single is just great with us. The course we took had no drawbacks. I beg of you, please remove all of my contacts. Up till now, I've got enough of your poison. In addition, I will date or get married whenever I want to.
Hello, Lisa. Right now, look out your window at the sky. It's very beautiful, really. What a fantastic day for outdoor pleasure. Am I correct? Anyway, how are things going? Are you free today or tomorrow? Please let me know your availability so I may call you to arrange a girls' night out. Do you actually want to hang out right this second? I'm bored. We may simply return quickly before John finishes his task. But he often returns home between 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening.
Sorry? Why are you embarrassed to ask me out? You may live your life to the fullest without me. I have no issue with that.
You already know that one of the perks of being a housewife is having too much spare time every day. As a result, you learn to appreciate the simple things in life that you would ordinarily take for granted if you worked a 9-to-5 job. We hardly had time to converse last time, to be honest. You claim you don't want to interact with me anymore, but I can see you're simply having a temper tantrum. Come on, let's go shopping or something equally enjoyable. I scheduled a time to have my nails done. If you want, you may follow along.
I can't. I'm extremely working. I also dislike spending money that I didn't work for. I'm a human, not a parasite, but you are free to behave any way you choose. Additionally, I don't want to socialize with you. Birds of a feather gather in flocks. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Good. Do you happen to be working right now? Where exactly do you work? Don't say you work as a waitress at a restaurant or whatever. If that's the case, I apologize. If you have a job, I'm sure you can't wake up anytime you want as I can. With minimal salary, you also cannot afford to go to the beauty parlor 3 times each week. Also, it's likely that you must work quite hard every day in order to pay for accommodation. Do you even get weekends or holidays off? I mean, to keep off the streets, people at the bottom of society must labor 8 hours a day. Because of this, it is preferable to exercise common sense and marry into an affluent family, like I did.
Whatever you say, I agree. People go to work because they wish to achieve a variety of objectives in life on their own. On the other side, all you do is rely on others. You can never anticipate the future, that's for sure. Today's world is changing far too quickly. Personally, I think it's important to get ready for those changes. Therefore, if I lose my work, I also lose my financial security. I also don't want to rely on anybody else moving forward. I wish to be self-sufficient.
It's unfortunate that you will always live paycheck to paycheck, to be honest. How pitiful, huh? I guess I shouldn't have said that since it would make you even more envious of me. I'll tell you what, the balcony of my cottage has the nicest views of this field of sunflowers. You can never anticipate the future, that's for sure. Today's world is changing far too quickly. Personally, I think it's important to get ready for those changes. I realized as I looked back on my life that I had never worried about money in any way.
Cottage? Did you leave the home that John and I previously occupied?
Did you see that? Yes, we did, to answer your question. John just received a wage increase as a result of his promotion. We chose to move into a cottage because of this.
That's good for you, I suppose.
Yes, of course. 2 years in a row, our neighborhood has received the top security rating. Despite the fact that we are not in the city's core, a gym was constructed specifically for the locals. Additionally, I take my dog for walks along this lovely river, which is 4 miles from my house. By the way, our neighborhood is called Light Tower. You must have heard about it, I suppose.
Hold on a second.
You must be becoming envious and enraged right now, hee hee. The good news is that you can visit me at a later time. I'll demonstrate what it means to be young and wealthy. I'll even let you sample a piece of the priciest cake our region has to offer. If you wish, we can go on a stroll with my dog and shoot some photos in that field of sunflowers.
No, I'm okay. I'm not interested in squandering my valuable time at your house.
Oh, forget it, Lisa. I don't believe I can still invite you around. Because it's possible that you won't even get in. I reside in a gated neighborhood. Paupers are not welcome here, according to the patrol crew.
Sorry? What's wrong with you?
I mean, everyone who lives in Light Tower is above the fray. After all, not everyone has the financial means to spend $100,000 on a home. Considering that, you should definitely only visit this location if you're seeking for a janitorial career. You know, the majority of our visitors are either famous people or wealthy business people. As a result, as I previously stated, the patrol team would only let you in if you identified yourself as the gym's new cleaner.
You are neither a superstar nor a business tycoon in my eyes. You're nothing more than a house thief. Furthermore, janitors ought to be valued for their work. Though you don't.
Stop using your justifications. You loser, just accept your loss at this point. No matter what you say, I am the one who shares a beautiful villa with your ex-husband. You, on the other hand, have no concept what it's like to be in control of the world in the least.
I appreciate your continuing to cover my rent.
Why? What?
I'm glad to hear that things aren't that bad for you in my cottage. To think that my tenant is living a happy life at my home makes me ecstatic. Furthermore, you and John already lend me $20,000 a month. Nothing warrants a protest from me. Naomi, aren't you thinking?
Hold on a second. By your house, what do you mean?
I ought to have recognized that you two are my renters sooner. To be honest, I was a little hesitant to rent my house to a couple with the same names as you and John. But now, everything is obvious. How oddly coincidental. Am I correct?
Your residence? Right now, this is just too much for my head to handle. What are you referring to? Do you have a mental illness or something?
First, try to relax. I can walk you through everything. The villa that you keep bragging about is actually mine. I appreciate you taking care of the rent because of this. If it weren't for you people, I wouldn't have been able to stop my homelessness.
Pardon? There is no way in the universe that you could ever purchase a cottage. Here, only the homeowner association dues are outrageous. John, for example, spends more than $20,000 per month only on rent. In other words, you have nothing in common with this cottage. What you just said will never be believed by me.
Yes, you are free to accept or reject my claims. You have the choice. I'm merely speaking the truth to you.
If you can, persuade me. If not, you'd better maintain your quiet and flee.
To put it plainly for you, one of my friends is a very wealthy woman. She died, and I was left with this cottage.
Is all of this real? After her death, you were given ownership of this cottage.
Yeah. When I had nowhere else to go, I remained at her house. She was kind enough to provide me a free place to stay while I looked for work. I completed all of the housework in return. Anyhow, throughout the years, our connection grew to be really tight.
So you're claiming she signed the title to this property with your name on it?
Yes, in the end. That's how things actually worked out.
I mean, I was the only girl and the youngest of all the homeless individuals there. With that stated, this kind woman assured me not to worry. She will investigate her options for me. She referred me to my present company, where I started making savings as soon as I started working there. Then one day I received a call from the hospital informing me that she had collapsed.
When I heard the news, I ran there right away, and I was informed that going forward, she needs to be looked after around the clock. Of course, I stepped into that position and started taking care of her.
Seriously?
She does, after all, have a son. But he's always traveling for work and is quite busy. It would be a huge favor for the lady's family, they continued, if I could move in with her. After a few years had passed, her son and I were by her side as she expired. She said in her will that Naomi is a strong young woman. For the rest of her life, all I desire for her is happiness. Additionally, she had already taken care of asset division.
You got the cottage, honestly, she willed it? Even so, it's pricey, millions of dollars. Do you realize this?
Yeah, I suppose it's only natural that I initially declined her offer. But her son pushed for me to accept it since I deserved it. He expressed to me how much he valued my care for his mother throughout the years. That his mother gave him this home as an expression of thanks. He continued by saying that since he is the owner of other properties, taking this one won't make much of a difference to him.
This can't be real, can it? Is the woman a real estate agent or what? Considering how kind even her son is to you. If he's ready to give you a whole house as a present, he must be sitting on a gold mine. In fact, you could definitely look up his name online.
I am aware of how radically different we are. And never in my life have I envied his possessions or position. It's none of my business how much money he has. I simply know that they are to blame for the life I currently enjoy. If that kind woman hadn't helped me out back then, I suppose I wouldn't be standing here in front of you now. Anyway, I'm now rather busy with property management and upkeep. You'd be surprised at how much time and effort are needed. However, the monthly money I receive from rent alone is more than enough for me to live comfortably. I am thus no longer struggling financially.
What is going on? This is not possible. Keep in mind that there are no free meals in this world. Only the crumbs from the rich man's table are permitted, and that would be me. You're simply bluffing, to be honest, aren't you? You are not a showboat, at least not to me. Nevertheless, if doing so helps you feel better about yourself, go ahead. You really are just a beggar. I mean, a beggar will never stop being a beggar. Beggars lack the ability and authority to overturn their predetermined course in life. Do you know how long it took me to live in a cottage like this, which is more significant? You're telling me that it belongs to you, right? Do you believe that anything here makes sense? I almost bought it, therefore you must be a fantastic storyteller.
Exactly, whatever. Now I have to leave. I have other things to do, like eating pricey cakes and getting your nails done. You may still have a blast in my cottage, too. I've been tortured by you and John in the past, but I'm making money now. Thus, I don't mind.
First of all, this is completely unjust. You're just a depressed outcast. Nothing you told me will ever be true. Furthermore, I'm not done yet. Right now, you're being quite disrespectful. Before you go like that, let me finish my sentences.
Then, what else do you need? I've already given you all the information you require. Furthermore, nothing suggests that the rest of your life is likely to become worse. You and your husband's situation won't alter at all.
Show that you are the true owner of the property. Otherwise, all I can see in you is a crazy and a liar. That means you should give us a free lease on this home. Please stop billing us for living here. Actually, we're not as well off as you might imagine. However, I'm guessing that you wouldn't be able to do this. Please consider our friendship before responding to my query. It will be a terrific bargain for you as well, I swear to God.
Yes, that is feasible. The fact that it isn't happening is the only issue. I'm not illiterate. I also don't practice philanthropy. I detest scumbags like you two in particular. What do I get from it, too? I have no thoughts. So disregard it. Please don't make me regret letting you rent my home. Please note that I reserve the right to evict any tenant at any time.
However, you'll help your best buddy, me. I mean, you're loaded, why can't you assist me? Just let the past be the past moving forward.
Please excuse me.
You owning a home is still something I question. Therefore, if you want to establish your credibility, cease billing John and I for rent. How do you feel about my recommendation? We're the best of friends, right?
Sincerely, I'm shocked right now by your lack of shame. Seriously, however, I feel foolish for once having been friends with someone like you.
Of course, anything. Simply put, I've been ruminating for a while now about how costly rent is. I will grant that the amenities and views are decent. But even so, $20,000 a month is just too much. However, I do now get why that is the case. You could only provide food for yourself in this way. Am I accurate?
Do you mind?
Let us live here for free if you don't want the whole neighborhood to hear tales about you. Give us 50% discount at the very least, I suppose, hee. If you don't, I'll tell everyone in the neighborhood that you are nothing more than a. You don't want to witness that, do you?
I don't see why the rent is currently significantly less than market value. Are you blind? Having stated that, despite that circumstance, I truly can't make it much cheaper for you.
By that incident, what do you mean? What occasion are you referring to? Why, when you initially moved in, didn't you hear from John?
That cabin was the scene of a horrible occurrence. The rent is $30 less than market value as a result.
Are you serious at this very moment? Why didn't anyone tell me about it? I have no notion what this terrible incident is. So what particularly is it? What, is this a joke?
Not at all, I assure you. The last resident of that cottage passed away. Because of this, someone may rent the entire building and have access to all of the amenities for only $20,000 per month.
There is no way that this is real. Even then, $20,000 a month is not the same as $6,000 or $7,000.
In any case, John, your spouse, is aware of all I just stated. He also executed a contract. If you don't believe me, check the document again. His signature should be there. Just the landlord, I am. So I advise you to talk to John about any issues or objections you may have.
Lisa, I can't believe you told Naomi the truth about the mansion I rented from you. You had no right to do that. Now she knows it's not my house, and she's furious.
John, calm down. I didn't lie to Naomi, I simply told her the truth. It's not my fault if you've been leading her to believe it's your own house all along.
Are you kidding me? You know very well why I did that. I wanted to impress her, to make her think I'm more successful than I am. And you just had to ruin it.
John, living in a lie is not the solution. I understand you wanted to make a good impression, but pretending to own a house that isn't yours is not the right way to build a relationship. Honesty should be the foundation.
Oh, spare me your lectures on honesty, Lisa. You think you're so perfect, but you live in your own fake reality every day. You can't be happy with the truth, can you?
That's not fair, John. Just because I don't agree with your dishonesty doesn't mean I'm living in a fake reality. I strive to be honest with myself and others. It's about integrity and being true to who we are.
Well, maybe if you weren't so focused on being true all the time, you'd understand what it's like to want something more, to strive for a better life. But no, you'd rather live in your little bubble of righteousness.
It's not about being true all the time, John. It's about finding happiness and fulfillment in genuine experiences and connections. Living a lie may give you temporary satisfaction, but it will never bring you lasting happiness.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll never be happy if I keep living in this facade. But at least I'm willing to take risks and go after what I want, even if it means bending the truth a little. I'd rather have a taste of happiness than live in your dull, self-righteous world.
It's not about being dull or self-righteous, John. It's about being authentic and building genuine connections based on trust. I hope one day you realize that true happiness comes from being true to yourself and those around you.
We'll see, Lisa. But don't expect me to follow your path of constant truth-telling. I'll find my own way, even if it means making some mistakes along the way.
He then tried to contact Naomi, but she didn't answer his phone or accept his apology. All Naomi wants is money and luxury mansions, but John doesn't. She has to find a new lover to replace John. And after 3 years of trying, I worked as a manager at a famous hotel to learn for my villa. I found my happiness in one seminar. This is a happiness that John himself cannot have. He is still alone looking for someone like Naomi, but then they also abandoned him.